The Big Ten Conference, a formerly Western Conference and Big Nine Conference, is the oldest Division I collegiate athletic conference in the United States. The conference competes in the NCAA Division I. Its football teams compete in the Football Bowl Subdivision, formerly known as Division I-A, the highest level of NCAA competition in that sport. The conference includes the flagship public university in each of 11 states stretching from New Jersey to Nebraska, as well as 2 additional public land-grant schools and a private university. The Big Ten Conference was established in 1895 when Purdue University President James H. Smart and representatives from the University of Chicago, University of Illinois, University of Michigan, University of Minnesota, Northwestern University, and University of Wisconsin gathered at Chicago's Palmer House Hotel to set policies aimed at regulating intercollegiate athletics. In 1905, the conference was officially incorporated as the Intercollegiate Conference Athletic Association. The conference uses the B1G character combination in its branding, noting it allows fans to see Big and Ten in a single word. Big Ten member institutions are predominantly major flagship research universities with large financial endowments and strong academic reputations. Large student enrollment is also a hallmark of Big Ten universities, as 12 of the 14 members feature enrollments of 30,000 or more students. Northwestern University, one of just 2 full members with a total enrollment of fewer than 30,000 students, is the lone private university among Big Ten membership. Collectively, Big Ten universities educate more than 520,000 total students and have 5.7 million living alumni. Big Ten universities engage in $9.3 billion in funded research each year. Though the Big Ten existed for nearly a century as an assemblage of universities located primarily in the Midwest, the conference's geographic footprint now spans from the state of Nebraska in the west to the Atlantic Ocean in the east. Big Ten universities are also members of the Big Ten Academic Alliance, a leading academic consortium. In 2014-2015, members generated more than $10 billion in research expenditures. 11 of the conference's 13 public universities are considered public Ivies, publicly funded universities considered comparable to the quality of education at an Ivy League institution. Despite the conference's name, the Big Ten has grown to 14 members, with the following universities accepting invitations to join: Pennsylvania State University in 1990, the University of Nebraska-Lincoln in 2011, and both the University of Maryland and Rutgers University in 2014. Johns Hopkins University was invited in 2012 to join the Big Ten as an associate member participating in men's lacrosse only. In 2015, it was also accepted as an associate member in women's lacrosse. Notre Dame is scheduled to join the Big Ten in 2017 as an associate member in men's ice hockey. Member schools. Members Notes. Associate Member Notes. Future Associate Member Notes. Former member. The University of Chicago was a co-founder of the conference. Lake Forest College attended the original 1895 meeting that led to the formation of the conference, but did not join it. Membership timeline. Full members, sport affiliate, other conference, sports. The Big Ten Conference sponsors championship competition in 14 men's and 14 women's NCAA-sanctioned sports. Men-sponsored sports by school. Notes. Notre Dame will join the Big Ten in the 2017-18 school year as an affiliate member in men's ice hockey. It continues to field its other sports in the ACC except in football, where it will continue to compete as an independent. degree. Johns Hopkins joined the Big Ten in 2014 as an affiliate member in men's lacrosse, with women's lacrosse to follow in 2016. It continues to field its other sports in the NCAA Division III Centennial Conference men's varsity sports, not sponsored by the Big Ten Conference, which are played by Big Ten schools. Notes: 1. Fencing is officially a coeducational team sport, although a few schools field only a women's team. Ohio State and Penn State, like most NCAA fencing schools, have co-ed teams. 2. Men's rowing, whether heavyweight or lightweight, is not governed by the NCAA, but instead by the Intercollegiate Rowing Association. Rutgers men's rowing was downgraded to club status in 2008, but remains a member of the EARC. 3. Unlike rifle, pistol is not an NCAA-governed sport. It is fully coeducational. 4. Rifle is technically a men's sport, but men's, women's, and co-ed teams all compete against each other. Ohio State fields a co-ed team. Women's sponsored sports by school. Women's varsity sports not sponsored by the Big Ten Conference, which are played by Big Ten schools. History. Initiated and led by Purdue University President James Henry Smart, the presidents of University of Chicago, University of Illinois, University of Minnesota, University of Wisconsin, Northwestern University, Purdue University, and Lake Forest College met in Chicago on January 11, 1895 to discuss the regulation and control of intercollegiate athletics. The eligibility of student athletes was one of the main topics of discussion. The Intercollegiate Conference of Faculty Representatives was founded at a second meeting on February 8, 1896. Lake Forest was not at the 1896 meeting that established the conference and was replaced by the University of Michigan. At the time, the organization was more commonly known as the Western Conference, consisting of Purdue, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois, Chicago, and Northwestern. The first reference to the conference as the Big Nine was in 1899 after Iowa and Indiana had joined. Nebraska first petitioned to join the league in 1900 and again in 1911, but was turned away both times. In April 1907, Michigan was voted out of the conference for failing to adhere to league rules. Ohio State was added to the conference in 1912. The first known references to the conference as the Big Ten were in November 1917 after Michigan rejoined after a 9-year absence. The conference was again known as the Big Nine after the University of Chicago decided to de-emphasize varsity athletics just after World War II. Chicago discontinued its football program in 1939 and withdrew from the conference in 1946 after struggling to obtain victories in many conference matchups. It was believed that one of several schools, notably Pittsburgh, Nebraska, Michigan State, Marquette, Notre Dame, and Iowa State would replace Chicago at the time. On May 20, 1949, Michigan State ended the speculation by joining, and the conference was again known as the Big Ten. The Big Ten's membership would remain unchanged for the next 40 years. The conference's official name throughout this period remained the Intercollegiate Conference of Faculty Representatives. It did not formally adopt the name Big Ten until 1987, when it was incorporated as a not-for-profit corporation. 1990 expansion. Penn State in 1990. The Big Ten universities voted to expand the conference to 11 teams and extended an invitation to Pennsylvania State University, which accepted it. When Penn State joined in 1990, it was decided the conference would continue to be called the Big Ten, but its logo was modified to reflect the change. The number 11 was disguised in the negative space of the traditionally blue Big Ten lettering. Missouri showed interest in Big Ten membership after Penn State joined. Around 1993, the league explored adding Kansas, Missouri, and Rutgers or other potential schools to create a 14-team league with 2 divisions. These talks died when the Big 8 Conference merged with former Southwest Conference members to create the Big 12. Following the addition of previously independent Penn State, efforts were made to encourage the University of Notre Dame, at the time the last remaining non-service academy independent, to join the league. Early in the 20th century, Notre Dame briefly considered official entry into the Big Ten but chose to retain its independent status. However, in 1999, Notre Dame and the Big Ten entered into private negotiations concerning a possible membership that would include Notre Dame. Although Notre Dame's faculty senate endorsed the idea with a near-unanimous vote, the school's board of trustees decided against joining the conference. Notre Dame subsequently joined the Atlantic Coast Conference in all sports except football, in which Notre Dame maintains its independent status as long as it plays at least 5 games per season against ACC opponents. This was believed to be the major stumbling block to Notre Dame joining the Big Ten, as Notre Dame wanted to retain their independent home game broadcasting contract with NBC Sports, while the Big Ten insisted upon a full membership with no special exemptions. 2010 to 2014 expansion. Nebraska, Maryland, Rutgers. In December 2009, Big Ten Conference Commissioner Jim Delaney announced that the league was looking to expand in what would later be part of a nationwide trend as part of the 2010-13 NCAA conference realignment. On June 11, 2010, the University of Nebraska applied for membership in the Big Ten and was unanimously approved as the conference's 12th school, which became effective July 1, 2011. The conference retained the name Big Ten. Quote, "This led to the interesting result of the Big Ten consisting of 12 teams, and a Big 12 consisting of 10 teams." On September 1, Delaney revealed the conference's divisional split and announced the new division names on December 13, 2010. Legends and Leaders. In the Legends division were Iowa, Michigan, Michigan State, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Northwestern. The Leaders division was composed of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio State, Penn State, Purdue, and Wisconsin. Conference officials stated they had focused on creating competitive fairness rather than splitting by geographical location. The new Legends and Leaders names were not met with enthusiasm. Some traditional rivals, including Ohio State and Michigan, were placed in separate divisions. For the football season, each team played the others in its division, 1 crossover rivalry game, and 2 rotating cross-divisional games. At the end of the regular season, the 2 division winners met in a new Big Ten football championship game. The Legends and Leaders divisional alignment was in effect for the 2011, 2012, and 2013 football seasons. On November 19, 2012, the University of Maryland's Board of Regents voted to withdraw from the ACC and join the Big Ten as its 13th member effective on July 1, 2014. The Big Ten's Council of Presidents approved the move later that day. 1 day later, Rutgers University of the Big East also accepted an offer for membership from the Big Ten as its 14th member school. On April 28, 2013, the Big Ten presidents and chancellors unanimously approved a divisional realignment that went into effect when Maryland and Rutgers joined in 2014. Under the new plan, the Legends and Leaders divisions were replaced with geographic divisions. The West Division includes Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, Northwestern, Purdue and Wisconsin, while the East Division includes Indiana, Maryland, Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State and Rutgers. The final issue in determining the new divisions was which of the two Indiana schools would be sent to the West. Purdue was chosen because its West Lafayette campus is geographically west of Indiana's home city of Bloomington. In the current divisional alignment, the only protected cross-divisional rivalry game in football is Indiana-Purdue. As before, the two division winners play each other in the Big Ten Football Championship game. On June 3, 2013, the Big Ten announced the sponsorship of men's and women's lacrosse. For any conference to qualify for an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, at least 6 member schools must play the sport. In women's lacrosse, the addition of Maryland and Rutgers to the Big Ten brought the conference up to the requisite 6 participants. Joining programs at Michigan, Northwestern, Ohio State and Penn State. In men's lacrosse, Ohio State and Penn State were the only existing participants. Coincident with the addition of Maryland and Rutgers, Michigan agreed to upgrade its successful club team to varsity status, giving the Big Ten 5 sponsoring schools, one short of the minimum 6 for an automatic bid. Johns Hopkins University opted to join the conference as its first affiliate member beginning in 2014. Johns Hopkins had been independent in men's lacrosse for 130 years, claiming 44 national championships. As longtime independents joined conferences, other schools competing as independents in some cases concluded that the inability to earn an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament was becoming a more serious competitive disadvantage in scheduling and recruiting. On March 23, 2016, the Big Ten Conference in Notre Dame announced the Fighting Irish would become a men's ice hockey affiliate beginning with the 2017-18 season. Notre Dame's team is currently a member of Hockey East, and the move will save them from longer trips to New England while renewing rivalries that existed in the CCHA and WCHA. In 2012, the conference announced it would move its headquarters from its location in Park Ridge, Illinois to neighboring Rosemont by the end of 2013. The new office building is situated within Rosemont's Sembe Financial Entertainment District, alongside Interstate 294. The move into the building was finalized on October 14, 2013. Commissioners. The Office of the Commissioner of Athletics was created in 1922 to study athletic problems of the various member universities and assist in enforcing the eligibility rules which govern Big Ten athletics. Big Ten Academic Alliance. 11 of the 13 public schools in the Big Ten are considered public Ivies. Each Big Ten institution is a member of the American Association of Universities and is ranked in the U.S. News & AMP World Report Top 100 and the Times Higher Education Top 200. Nebraska joined the AAU in 1909 but was removed in April 2011 when the AAU disallowed University of Nebraska Medical Center data points to be included in the AAU formula and began to decrease the weight given to agricultural research. Commissioner Jim Delaney stated that Nebraska's removal from the AAU would have no bearing upon the Big Ten membership. Nebraska does, however, lead the NCAA with a record of 314 academic All-Americans. Currently, no Division I conference is composed exclusively of AAU members. However, the University Athletic Association, a Division III conference, is composed of entirely AAU members. All Big Ten members are members of the Big Ten Academic Alliance, formerly known as the Committee on Institutional Cooperation, an academic consortium which allows students at Big Ten institutions to take distance courses at other participating institutions. Students at participating schools are also allowed in-house viewing privileges at other participating schools' libraries. The BTAA also employs collective purchasing, which has saved member institutions $19 million to date. The University of Chicago, a former Big Ten Conference member, was a member of the CIC from 1958 to June 29, 2016. Schools ranked by revenue. The schools below are listed by conference rank of total revenue. Total revenue includes ticket sales, contributions and donations, rights, licensing, student fees, school funds and all other sources including TV income, camp income, food and novelties. Total expenses includes coaching, staff, scholarships, buildings, ground maintenance, utilities and rental fees and all other costs including recruiting, team travel, equipment and uniforms, conference dues and insurance costs. Surplus is calculated using the total revenue and total expenses data provided by USA Today, individual institutions and the United States Department of Education. Awards and honors. Big Ten Athlete of the Year. The Big Ten Athlete of the Year award is given annually to the athletes voted as the top male and female athlete in the Big Ten Conference. Big Ten Medal of Honor, Big Ten Medal of Honor, Big Ten Sportsmanship Award. NACDA Learfield Sports Directors Cup Rankings. The NACDA Learfield Sports Directors Cup is an annual award given by the National Association of Collegiate Directors of Athletics to the U.S. colleges and universities with the most success in collegiate athletics. Big Ten universities typically finish ranked in the top 50 of the final Directors Cup annual rankings. 2014-2015 Capital One Cup standings. The Capital One Cup is an award given annually to the best men's and women's Division I college athletics programs in the United States. Points are earned throughout the year based on final standings of NCAA championships and final coaches poll rankings. 2014-2015 CBS Sports Best in College Sports Rankings. The CBS Sports Best in College Sports Award is weighed more heavily towards sports that generate fan and media interest. The poll rates 5 sports: football, men's basketball, women's basketball, baseball and a wild card sport. The wild card spot is awarded to the most successful among schools' other spectator sports: softball, men's lacrosse, men's ice hockey, men's soccer, wrestling, volleyball, women's soccer or women's gymnastics. Women's basketball, baseball, and the wild card carry normal weight, with men's basketball double and football triple. Conference records. For Big Ten records by sport, see footnote. NCAA national titles. Through the sports year ended July 1, 2015, published NCAA summary, with updates for the subsequent sports year. Excluded from this list are all national championships earned outside the scope of NCAA competition, including Division I FBS football titles, Women's AIAW championships, equestrian titles, and retroactive Helms Athletic Foundation titles. Conference titles. For Big Ten championships by year, see footnote. Current champions denotes national champion.